Hello, friends. This is
Three Friends Talk.
I'm Dr. Courtney,
I'm Dr. Leah.
This is Dr. Sylvia.
and we are
Three Friends Talk.
Wait for it.
I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh, yeah,
What's
shit.
a bop?
We from California. That's that shit.
Not
I
a
took my
bop.
chick up to the north, yeah.
I love that
Badass
song.
bitch. I get my light right from the source, yeah.
Okay, just a little something. Hey, friends.
Way texture of your skin.
Sing it, Dr. Sylvia.
That's all the words I know.
Oh, okay. That's all. Hello, friends. It's another Wednesday night, so you know what that means. We're here with another episode of Three Friends
Three
Talk.
Friends Talk. Join us every second and fourth Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook and YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, friends, and hello to everyone out there watching tonight in Facebook Live and YouTube land. Say hi in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you're doing so. Leave us a 5-star review. 5-star review.
5 stars.
Okay. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I'm Dr. Leah.
Great.
Oh, I'm Dr. Sylvia.
And I'm Dr. Courtney.
Wonderful.
Courtney is our peach out in Georgia.
Is that
Oh.
what the song tonight? It was a special request. You know,
Yeah.
We'll get
I
into
had
it a
another
little
song
later.
in mind,
Hashtag Black Love.
but we can get into that a little bit later. Yeah, I'll tell you what other song I wanted to play. Hey, Dr.
Hey,
Audrey.
Dr.
Hi,
Audrey.
Dr. Audrey.
Our other super friend.
Happy
a
Women's History
friend.
Month. We gave you a shout out. I'll have to send you the link. We gave you a shout out, Dr. Audrey. I'll have to send you the link.
Hello. Hi, Makita. How are you?
Hi. Oh, she's a queen. That's my line name. Queen Makeda.
Is it? Sure
it is.
is.
Oh,
It is.
so it
It
is.
It is. I don't have anything on it. I need to.
You don't?
One day I'll invest in some Perry. I think I have one thing, but you know, back in the day when you did membership intake, they gave you those like paper bag colored like
That must have
jersey
been long time ago.
Well, it was a tradition, and we broke the tradition after us, but we still had to get them. So that's the only thing I have with my line name on it.
The Zetas
And
did that. Okay.
the Zetas at my undergrad chapter, yes.
Oh, okay.
So we modernized things. Shout out
Awesome.
to Beta Delta Fall 2000.
Good
But
to hear.
I'm gonna pull that out and do a photo shoot. Stun on y'all.
That's okay.
But do y'all have a lot of Perry with your line name on it? Dr. Leah,
I'ma
what is
be-
your line name?
I'm
I
gonna be
did.
quiet.
I'll tell you mine.
Okay,
What
I
did she?
still
Wait.
use-
Weren't you talking to me?
I was.
Okay.
Continue,
thank you.
Dr. Leah.
Yeah. Hold what you
I'm
got.
so ready for my turn. Yes.
Hold what you got. We're gonna let you go. But well, you know, I did intake in grad chapters. So I mean, you know, that was a whole blur for me. Because y'all know I was
Leah was good and pregnant.
good and pregnant.
That's pop.
That boy about to graduate this year. It was a long time ago.
Oh, so you know, my anniversary was Monday, and you know, if you're
Happy
not first,
belated.
Happy
you're not
belated anniversary.
first. Y'all know the rest. If you're not first, you're last.
We don't- I
But,
don't know the rest.
No.
Yeah, 18 years. Like Kanye said, 18 years. So you can always equate it with how Jalen is. But
And your line name is?
technically, my line name is Jalen's mama. No, y'all are
thought he did
silly. Y'all are silly.
Okay, so
What is your
it
line
really?
name?
I
You
don't
have
I don't have a line name. Like I didn't.
Because you did grad chapter.
Oh,
If I have one, I
tink.
promise you I don't know what it is. But yeah.
Pull a little tink tink. I didn't know they did that.
I know some organizations don't allow that, but
No, I think it just depends on the line or whatever. So my line, no. We have a
Mama.
line name, but
What's-
I don't have a specific line.
That's right. Dr.
I
Audrey, give her a
agree.
name.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Give me a name.
Okay,
Give me a
y'all.
name.
In the comments, put what Dr. Leah's line name should be.
Big sister, gorgeous one.
Our line name is Authenticated Ivies. And
Oh.
Wah, wah. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Ours was. Don't worry about it. Ours
Wait,
was.
can I tell my story now?
Let me add this. Ours was Nubian, and we were all queens. Never.
Oh, okay.
To tell y'all what it means, but go ahead.
Okay.
So, on
Hold
to
on.
the exciting story of the
I
bunch.
missed hold on. Comments about me, girl. Let me get these comments.
We already
Mercy.
saw those comments.
I didn't say them though. My fiance.
Oh, okay.
Know if you're interested in some more, his business page is at we HBCU on IG. Gotcha. Thank you. And yes, Dr. Audrey, give me a name.
Jalen's mama.
No, it's not gonna be.
I
Jalen's
love
mama.
it.
I like Big Sister Gorgeous One.
See,
surely you brought in a
never go wrong
line
with
in
that
18 years. You brought in a line.
Shout out Whitley Gilbert Hillman.
Yeah. It's been quite a few since 2005, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, on
Dr.
to my
Courtney.
story. So
Yes.
I've incorporated my line name. As you all know, I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I pledged Fall 99 Gamma Alpha chapter at the Xavier University of Louisiana.
Yay.
And I was given the name E. It's an initial. It stands for, and I'm gonna let you all guess what E stands for. E Sapphire.
Extra.
Illuminous. I thought your line name was Illuminous.
Well, that
Sapphire.
was easy. I must have told you. Okay.
We knew. I think we all knew that.
Stop.
I'm about to say we all knew that. Girl.
So, you know, Illuminous is spelled with an I, mine is spelled with an E. I was named E Luminous Sapphire, and that's SAFIRE, so fire. But you know, I would say I define it one way, but I was given that name under you know, according to my personality and events that took place online. And I deemed it very appropriate to follow me in the course of my life because I've taken on Sapphire as my alter ego. And even while I'm dancing with the dance competition I'm on, anytime someone says, "What's my stage name?" it's always Sapphire. So I think it's so befitting. I love my line name, but I do always have E. Sapphire. I don't use the Illuminous all the time, but that's me.
I've never seen E. Sapphire, but okay.
E. Sapphire, but sometimes I'll drop the E for my stage name.
Is that what's on your like line jacket or something?
Yep. Now you'll see that long E name, E Luminous Sapphire. So sometimes I'll use the E, sometimes I won't. But yeah, Sapphire. You got to spell it right. Well, it's not me.
Extra.
I mean,
Fire.
I think right is subjective because I think spelling it right is subjective. But hey,
I'm fiery.
Okay, we got it. Well, thank y'all for that stroll down memory lane.
That was our history, Women's History Month. There you go.
Did you see your soror online?
Hey, Soror Makeda.
I love it. Well, I wanted to represent. You know, I'm from Texas, and Selena is an icon. Bitty bitty bum bum.
Bitty 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 bum bum.
So shout out to Selena. She is a Texas legend, Chicano legend. If you don't know, now you know. Look her up. She did great things.
Are you wearing that for Women's History Month, or did something happen in Texas with Selena? I was just asking because
I'm wearing it for Women's History Month.
Okay, I just wanted to know it, make sure I wasn't missing nothing.
Every time I think of Selena now, I feel like a Puerto Rican.
Leah, be quiet.
Rican.
I just think of how they said her name in the movie, Salinas. Yes. Like Sylvia, I don't know why you tell us this kind of stuff. So frustrating.
I don't. Okay. What? And then
Salinas.
Y'all believe Donald Trump is going to jail? or getting arrested.
What?
I thought it was
Did he get
happening.
arrested? I thought it was yesterday. Did it
It did
happen?
not happen yesterday. I don't think it happened today. I
Were those
haven't seen
pictures
anything.
real when the
No,
cops
that's
hit?
AI. AI is getting out of control.
Yeah.
What?
I thought
What
it was
happened?
real.
What I
There's
missed?
pictures of him getting arrested and like falling down and
There are
stuff.
no
But it's
handcuffs.
artificial
kidding.
intelligence.
I'm
It's
Are you
telling you.
serious?
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Wow.
So some people probably think he already got arrested because they saw those pictures.
Don't believe everything you see, but I thought it was definitely coming.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, did you see how the mayor, they were trying to recall the mayor of New
Oh
Orleans?
yeah,
And
TD
was
TD
Oh,
stayed.
that's funny.
TD
Yeah.
stayed in office.
TD
Don't have to tell us
stayed.
about
She
it.
said, y'all tried it. TD said y'all tried it.
Did she really say that? Or
In so many words.
She probably did.
Y'all know TD, the mayor of New Orleans,
yeah.
don't be worried about how she speaks politically correct.
I saw a picture during Mardi Gras where she was using a special finger, and I was shocked.
She did, and she blamed it on it was
Wait.
the spirit of Mardi Gras.
I missed
Everybody
that.
does it.
She blamed it on the spirit of Mardi Gras. Well, tell us what the spirit of Mardi Gras is, Dr. Courtney.
Wait, what happened? No, I missed this. What
I'm the
happened?
epitome of the spirit
Okay,
of Mardi Gras.
somebody on the float, they turned their backs on the mayor when
They
she
were
passed
toasting
by.
at Gallier Hall, which they have to pass by, and that's where they will
Oh.
greet them on the microphone. City councilmen and things like that
Yeah.
will
And she
actually
flipped on the
present
bird?
to official and give official
Dignitaries.
decrees to those on the floats. So I
Uh-huh.
don't know, I forgot which crew it was or who was on that float, but people are reveling, they're drunk and whatever else, and so I don't know what they did on the float.
They
to
turned their backs to
provoke
her.
but
turned
she
their
like
backs.
flipped them off and was like, yeah,
Both fingers. It was a double salute.
Okay, Sylvia, thank you for telling us.
You gotta let the people
Double
know.
salute.
She did, and she said, "I'm still in office. Keep it moving."
Oh my gosh, I love her. She's so funny to me.
Oh
And the
my
fact that y'all done just named her TD.
First of all, she knows that her name is TD. How about even when I went home, my parents were like, "Did y'all see the interview?" She said, "Sometimes they call me TD, sometimes they call me Teddy." I said, "I cannot with this woman. What is happening?"
Oh god.
She is a whole character. The mayor of New Orleans is hilarious.
Keep New Orleans in your prayers.
But she's still running things. Absolutely.
Awesome. So we were talking a minute ago, Dr. Courtney, you said that you want to involve us in some type of
Reveling?
mission? No.
Oh, well, it will be Mardi Gras at some point. I'll have more news about that. I can't wait to share the news with you guys as it gets closer.
No, you said you had
mid-year.
You had a
Three Friends
mission
Talk
that you
is
wanted us to
going
take.
abroad, you guys, and this is
Okay.
my first time sharing it with Dr. Leah and Dr. Sylvia.
This is news to me.
I'm always putting them in the midst of like these
Oh,
shenanigans,
it's another girl's
and they
trip.
just go with it.
Earlier.
But we have to venture out. We've been able to provide to certain charities around the country, and now it's time for us to go abroad. So I had a recent trip to Barbados, and I always like to visit pharmacies outside of the country, international pharmacies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Dr. Sylvia and Dr. Leah know I'm fascinated by when we were in like Mexico, we visited that pharmacy in Cabo. We visit pharmacies everywhere. So
did we?
I
don't remember that.
Yeah, we did. I got the pictures. Don't worry about it. So we went to. I recently went to Barbados. Went to a pharmacy, and I was, just browsing around, and it was some information about helping shelters and things like that, and volunteers were needed. So I was like, I'll go out on a limb. Let me sign us up. And so I signed up my name with Sylvia and Leah as Three Friends Talk. And lo and behold, they reached out and was like, we definitely be interested in you guys coming. So I'm like, oh, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
So Dr. Sylvia, how often do you think that she just signs us up for stuff?
All the time.
I don't think it's a lot, but what are we doing?
Enough to where
shelters. We're helping people in shelters.
It's a children's shelter. We're gonna give back and give clothes, and we're gonna go and talk to children. I don't know what about yet, but we're gonna find something. And I'm just excited for us to go and take adventures. So stay tuned. I'm going to be looping Dr. Sylvia and Dr. Leah in on a mission trip for the summer.
Okay, I'll only go if we can do a talent show.
You only going because I said we gotta go.
I want to do a talent show. I want to sing I Believe the Children Are Our
We're not
Future.
doing the talent
I
show
don't
for the
feel
children.
like that song gets the love it deserves anymore. This generation does not know the beauty of that song.
Sylvia, they might not know
So
the
I want to
song.
let the children know.
This
Remind them.
Okay, okay.
this is
I will
going
come
this
back.
is going
I
way
will come back
way.
to you guys
And then
after
you
Yeah.
we
can do
decide
dance.
what
You
we're
can do
going to do.
dance. Dr. Leah, what are you going to do?
Make drinks.
It's not a talent show. More-
We have a very
Stay
interesting
tuned.
show
Stay
tonight.
tuned.
Can we please move forward?
Yes, but I will be getting us involved. Just know that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, just let us know, darling.
I
We'll be
lost my
Jayson
ears playing
volunteers.
with y'all.
We'll be there for you, honey.
They
But
do.
yes, we do have a very interesting show tonight. We have two super friends.
Mm.
So that's
I love
always
the two.
fun to share a little bit of our space. So not a fourth friend, but a fourth and a fifth friend tonight. So these guys are near and dear to Three Friends Talks Hearts because they provided for us, they were there for us for our Memphis show, for our podcast. If you have not checked that out, make sure that you do on YouTube.
YouTube. Mhm.
Yeah.
We
that's
had a
on
great
YouTube.
time in Memphis.
We
I know.
did. So we really appreciate these guys. So let me tell you a little bit about both of them. For our first
Do they
guest,
know what happened to us in Memphis?
girl, be quiet.
We're not
So
talking about that tonight.
again, ever.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. So our first guest is from Augusta, Georgia. He graduated from the Savannah State University in Savannah, Georgia, and Life University in Marietta, Georgia. In his spare time, he loves to work out, he loves to fish, grill, and spend time with his family. So that's a little bit about our first guest.
Mhm.
Our second guest is a chiropractor and the owner of Cannon Chiropractic PLLC, which has locations in West Tennessee. He grew up in Tipton County and graduated from Covington High School before attending University of Memphis and Parker Chiropractic College. He's passionate about helping his community, and he was inspired by his father's work as a medical doctor. He's
Aw.
also the proud father to his son Dallas, who often assists him with his work. So we are ready to bring both of these guests to our podcast tonight. Welcome, Dr. Tyler and Dr. Jayson.
Yay!
Welcome.
Yay!
We're so happy to have you both.
Welcome
Good to be here.
the Friends Talk stage.
Yes. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well.
Wonderful.
I'm good. It's a good day.
That's
Good.
right.
So,
Now look-
we know that you know are very busy, so we appreciate that. I think Dr. Tyler just flew in from assisting a patient, so we definitely appreciate you. Go ahead, Dr. Courtney.
Well, I think that this is a great time to get our listeners to get to know you guys a little bit better. Are you all up for a game?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
Let's do it.
okay. Well, because we have two of you and you all work very closely together, we want to get to know who's who of Dr. Jayson and Dr. Tyler. All right. So no pressure,
Y'all
but
see Dr. Audrey's comment.
I think she was talking about the mission trip,
no, that was
but
earlier
I think
with
it
John.
applies in this moment too.
Can y'all block her?
Too early. It's too early.
That looked like the Tyler came on with his arms stretched out. He said, "I'm tired, y'all."
No, she know how y'all react to me anytime I got some surprises. It's
I'm
like
sorry, I missed that
Mhm.
comment. I missed that comment, Dr. Audrey. Okay, yeah. But no, we're excited. It's gonna be. Mm-hmm.
they looking at me with their third eye, like
Can we
what
move
you got
on?
us involved in.
Can
Okay,
we move on?
so back to Dr. Jayson. It's gonna be great, y'all. Promise.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jayson, Dr. Tyler. I'm not gonna put the timer on you guys tonight. I want you to blurt out the first answer that comes to mind. It's either gonna be the one of the two of you that's going to be the answer to these questions. So we want to see if you guys are going to be on the same page as well. Who's who? So let's get started. I got about 10 questions or so, but we'll see how far we can get.
Okay.
All right. So first up, who's who? Who's most likely to show up for work first?
They need a timer.
Dr. Tyler.
I may have to reconsider this timer. Yes.
Dr. Tyler. Okay.
We're going with Dr. Tyler. All right. Who's most likely to lose their keys?
That's me.
Okay. No
Tyler,
argument there, Dr. Tyler.
Huh?
No argument there. All right. Who's most likely to spend the most money at the club?
That's me.
No.
What? I'm surprised. Okay.
Not the one laid back, stressed, relaxed.
That's how he be at the club, laid back, stressed out, waiting on his bottles, huh?
Okay.
All right.
Miss Melba is participating. She know already hollered Tyler.
Please in the audience, if you guys know the answers, yes. Let's see.
Let us know if they not being truthful.
Right.
Who's most likely to fall asleep at the drop of a dime?
Ooh. That might be both of us.
Yeah. Both of y'all. Okay. Who's most likely to always be on vacation?
That's Dr. Jayson.
That's Dr. Jayson?
Dr. Jayson.
He said,
yep.
Working vacation.
We got a reliable source that agrees.
Okay. All right. Who's most likely to show up late?
It depends. Where we showing up at?
Define late.
Yeah.
Work. Let's just stick with work. Who's gonna show up at work late?
When you do a
Dr.
lot of things,
Jayson.
when you do a lot of things, it's not really late because you're always working to do something, you know.
All right.
That might have worked online, but no.
I'm a hold my peace on that one.
Okay. Who's most likely to be in the gym? I don't see no hands.
That's Doc. He there 5:30 every morning.
Every morning.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the negotiator of the group? Making deals. We got to negotiate first.
That's probably me. That's
Dr. Cannon. That's Dr. Cannon for sure.
Okay. Not gonna take no for an answer. All right. Who's most likely to always have the snacks? I know which one out of our group. Who one always snacking and eating?
If it's candy, I got candy. I'm a candy guy.
All right. Who's most likely to always be on the phone?
Did you say you have what, Dr. Tyler?
A potato.
I got a potato. I love some potatoes. Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes. Love potatoes.
You just carry potatoes around?
Don't judge.
You meant a type of potato, like it's gonna be some
powdered potatoes, like protein potatoes.
No, like potatoes. Like that and broccoli. You for sure gonna see me with it.
Oh, you meal prep and you carry it around.
Yeah. Inflation, you got to save money.
Leah, why you got your weight like that? It might really be good.
Because I'm like, who just carries potatoes around?
Dr. Ridley.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now we getting to know them.
You very much so.
All right. Who's most likely to always be on the phone?
That's probably me. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have to be on the phone. You mean just like this all day?
Yeah. That's it's work. I hate talking on the phone, so it's texting.
All right, let me give y'all one more. All right, okay. I think y'all doing good so far. But who's most likely to think of the next new project?
That's me.
Okay. Good deal. Not too bad. I think y'all y'all had it for the most part. Y'all on the same page. Good deal. Mm-hmm. So I think we know. I definitely know you guys. Look, Dr. Tyler. I think me and you here. I'm gonna be like this at the club, laid back at the gym. I mean, got a couple of things in common. All right,
so
great job.
I would love to know how both of y'all started your journey to become chiropractors. And Dr. Jayson, I know you own multiple offices. So we've never had chiropractors on our show before. Since 2019 is when we started. So we'd love to get into the beginning of your journey. So Dr. Jayson, we'll start with you.
Okay. So one of the things in my bio, it mentioned that my dad was a medical doctor. And then I got an aunt that's a pharmacist. She went to Xavier. So she's retired now. So I don't know what year she came out, but it was a while ago. But so I grew up with really bad headaches, and that's kind of how it started. So I used to take BC powder. If you live in the South, you know BC powder.
Mighty black of you.
Yes. So I was taking that. I was taking that a lot. Right. Both my grandparents were farmers, so I used to see my granddad do it when he was out on the farm on the tractor or something. And at 19, I was a freshman at the University of Memphis. Woke up with just a bad stomach ache, sharp pain around my navel. And I called my dad, and I'm like, Doc, I got stomach cancer, man. And he's like, you ain't got no
stomach cancer.
I got stomach. So I had been Googling. I was Googling, and I was like, okay, all this looks like it's going back to stomach cancer. So he was like, get off the internet. You don't have cancer. And we went to the gastroenterologist, and he did a scope. And I remember he asked me, he said, are you stressed? I was like, no, I got my first apartment. Life is good. He was like, do you take medicine? And I was like, no. I said, I take BC, but no real medicine. And that was, and he shook his head, and he was like, you got an ulcer. It ate up your stomach lining. And I was like, well, I have these headaches. What am I gonna do about these headaches? And he was like, I don't know what to tell you, but you can't keep taking that. And my dad actually referred me to a chiropractor. So I went to a chiropractor, showed me some issues in my neck, and I'm like, dude, my neck don't hurt, my back don't hurt. I play sports, I'm good. And he was like, no, C2, C3 area, that's out of alignment, it's affecting that nerve, it's gonna have tension headaches. And I started getting adjusted, and my headaches went away. I mean, from age 10 to 19, I had been dealing with these headaches. Wow. And I had a CAT scan. We had gotten looked at. Nobody was finding anything. And then as we got to the point where I was like 17, 18, I stopped telling my dad about it because at that age, you're old enough to go get your own BC. So my dad didn't know I still was having them like I was. I was just popping these pills. And then I ended up, that was the first incident. And then I had a frat brother that was in chiropractic school that I met in Memphis. He was traveling through Memphis to Alabama to a family reunion. Long story short, his girlfriend was driving on revoked license and got arrested.
Oh no! Oh no!
In Memphis, the same night that a good friend of mine got arrested, and I had to go downtown to get him out of jail. So while we're down there trying to make bond bail, I don't know which it was because I'm not really in that element, but I was helping a friend, and I met this frat brother who was in chiropractic school. So it was like two different things.
At the bail bondsman?
Bail bondsman. Yeah, he was getting his girlfriend out.
Networking.
Networking. Who was an AKA, by the way. So he was getting her.
Okay, it's too much. Okay. Memphis AKA.
It's too much. It's too much.
He was getting her out, and he was saying he goes to Life University down in Atlanta, Marietta. So he was like, man, what are you thinking about doing? I'm like, well, right now, I'm looking at PT or dermatology.
PT, like, physical therapy, everybody. Right?
Yes, physical therapy. And I started talking to him. I'm like, man, my headaches went away. I'm really digging this. But my next thought was, what is my dad gonna think? Because the different specialties and things. So I had called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I'm thinking about changing my major to chiropractic. And he was like, come by my office, which he never says that.
Oh, Lord.
He'll just usually be talking, He's like, come by my office. So I went by his office, and he brought out the New England Medical Journal, which is like their trade book, whatever. And it was an article about the Texas Back Institute, which is in Plano, Texas, which my Dallas doc know. So it's a kind of a world-renowned back institute in Texas, neurologists, orthopedists, but they had chiropractors on staff now. And the article was about how chiropractors were the busiest specialty in this group. And he said, I saved this article for you like a month ago, had my name on it. He had it circled. And he was like, I think this is going to be you. He was like, I think this is what you want to do. He was like, I never wanted to just dissuade you from PT. He says, as a father, you just want a person to do what they want to do. You don't want to guide them. He's like, but knowing your personality, I know you're going to want your own business. I know you're not going to want to cap on your salary. And he says, as a physical therapist, you're still going to be under the direction of a physician telling you exactly what to do. He says, as a chiropractor, you're going to be able to diagnose, do the exam, and you do the treatment plan. And we lived in Covington, like we said. And so Covington, you had a lot of warehouses, a lot of Mid-South and Memphis is warehouse place. And he said, over the years, I send people to chiropractor. It may take 6-8 weeks. They go back to work. He said, I send people to the orthopedist. He said, they come back. They having surgery, then I'm getting disability papers. He said, so the thing is, I've always referred to chiropractors. I think it'll be good for you. And I remember him, I was talking about the premise of it. And he was like, look, as a physician, I feel, he said, as a physician and a Christian, I remember him saying this, I got this on my wall at the office. He said, I feel you're born with all the medicine you need unless you get attacked by outside force and you have some things that you need help with. He said, but us as a society, we're over medicated. He said, the premise of chiropractic of removing nerve interference, allowing their body to function and heal like it's designed to do without adding something on top of it really makes sense. He said, the reason you're having headaches is not because you're low on Tylenol in your bloodstream. He says the reason you had these headaches. So when he told me that, I was just like, what?
Mind blown.
Yeah.
So me driving out to his office thinking he's gonna be like, nah, don't do this. And he's telling me why I should do it and the benefits and things he's done with it. I changed my major and I was gone.
Wow.
Never look back.
Yep.
Wow. Absolutely.
I love that story.
That's a great origin story.
Yes, it is.
Okay, how you gonna beat that, Dr. Tyler? He had suspense, jail, police chase.
International, the whole Tyler Perry movie just now. It was. Oh my gosh! All right, so Dr. Jayson,
hold on, Dr. Courtney, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Dr. Tyler.
Tyler.
How did you start?
So mine is a little bit similar to his. That my
you had a jail experience too?
No. I had my parent, my mom actually. So I was really known in high school for having like just a lot of injuries. Like I was a very good athlete, but just injuries just really derailed my career really quick. So much, and I went into college with him. I came back. I was having this hip pointer. Real bad. And, for me to be 18, 19 years old, having hip pain, I'm just like, bro, there's no way. Like, I should not be dealing with this at this age. Kept taking medicine for it, went to the school clinic, and just nothing. I played basketball one day. I never forget. I come down on my hip, and the pain just shot up my back. And I'm just like, hold on now. Like, immediately I thought, okay, I'm paralyzed. Like, I can't move. I thought that's what happened, right? So, I went home. My mom was like, hey, I know you told me you want to do something with sports, but check out this chiropractor. She was actually going to see a chiropractor at the time for an auto case. So guy adjusted me, and like within 15 minutes, my body popped right back. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you mean to tell me this medicine that I've been taking ain't been helping, but this adjustment is helping me out? Okay. So I kept getting adjusted. Funny story now, I'm finding out I got all these chiropractors around me I didn't even know at Savannah State. Dr. Lakia Maynard is a chiropractor there, and what she did was she adjusted me. So I was the guy in class when sinuses get around. If y'all in Memphis, y'all know how the sinuses are. I was the guy, I'm the one, and so everybody knew when spring was coming because Tyler's about to be doing this the whole class period, right? I got the medicine over here. I got everything you need. I got the clarity, and like I'm ready for spring. Right. But then one day my teacher makes a joke, and he was like, "Tyler, where's your kid at?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even notice it. I've been getting adjusted the whole time, and I hadn't used it at all." So now I'm realizing, okay, sinus is gone, back pain gone, and then the last thing, which is my recovery, I noticed that I was able to bounce back. So I'm like, bro, all this as soon as I get adjusted, like nothing else has changed but me getting adjusted. And so it's so crazy now. Every time I get a chance, I tell people not just that are older, but also people around my age, 28, 29, start getting adjusted now because it just helps better foundation. And it just helps you stop from having to get hooked on those pain meds already. So ever since then, I just never looked back, and I've been rolling with it ever since.
Oh my gosh.
I love both of those.
It's time for me to go to the chiropractor. Okay, let me tell y'all what happened. Okay. Can I tell what happened to me, Sylvia? So I think 42 is kicking my behind. I'm just putting it out there right now. I'm active with dancing. I work out. I have a trainer. I mean, you name it. I am very active, and I am starting to have severe lower back pain in the arch of my back. And so I'm like, no, Sylvia, that is not the problem. But But I will say that I was on the verge of going to see a physical therapist, but now I'm like, maybe I should go see a chiropractor first and get adjusted. So yeah, I'm inspired already. Maybe this might fix all my problems and alleviate the tension.
This ain't on the questions list, but we're gonna have to get into that PT chiropractic beef at some point.
Okay.
Not beef. They got beef.
It's not beef. It's not
big
beef.
beef. Big beef.
It's a one-sided beef. It's a
Look at Dr. Tyler. He like pop, pop, pop.
No, stop, pop, pop, pop.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay. So, Dr. Jayson, explain the premise of chiropractic care and how taking steps early on can lessen or alleviate the use of pain medication.
Gotcha. So chiropractic, the word itself is being done by hand, right? Mm-hmm. So when you look at how the body functions, how's it function? Everything goes through your central nervous system. It's your brain and your spinal cord, those spinal nerves, right? Right now, we're all sitting here and our heart is pumping. If we had to think about, hey, I need my heart to pump in the next second, we wouldn't make it. So God designed us where everything is self-regulating, but it's self-regulating and communicating through that brain to the spinal nerves. So what happens if your spine, which are the bones, are protecting those spinal nerves, right? It's like a housing. All the spine does is shock absorber and a housing for your spinal cord. So if that alignment gets off and that nerve is exiting out a certain particular part of the spine, and now that nerve is getting aggravated, getting pinched, or just the tissue around it is now getting aggravated, then whatever that nerve is supplying or communicating to is not functioning at 100%. So I always tell people, if I think about my hand squeezing, all of a sudden it went from my brain down the spinal nerves to the muscles of my hand, and my hand does a fist. Now, if that nerve is getting aggravated from any kind of misalignment along that spine, it may be a little slower, may not be as strong. So you think of like a boxer. He wants everything to be at 100%. Mm-hmm. Same thing, is not just all muscular, it goes to your organs and everything out your body. So anytime that alignment is off, you're decreasing that health, and it's going to be one of a couple things. Either you're going to have pain, you're going to have dysfunction or whatever is supplying, or overall lack of mobility. So you think about it, if I can get that alignment improved, now that nervous system is functioning like it's designed to, I'm going to feel better without taking that pain pill. Now, it doesn't mean that you never need medicine. Yeah, we got to have medicine. If I got counseling, you better give me something. You know what I'm saying? It may be a situation. So it's not that. So I definitely want to make sure you address that, but it shouldn't be, let me take a pain pill as the first option, right? Because that's just masking it. My biggest thing when I talk to patients, I tell them, it's just like if your check engine light comes on while you're driving and you take a piece of black tape and just put it over that check engine light and keep on driving. That's what you're doing when you're taking the pain pill, because it's warning you about something that's dysfunctional. And when you block that pain, and sometimes you have to because you got to function throughout the day to work and do things you need to do. But I want to know, Doc, why am I having this back pain?
Getting to the source.
Let's get to the source. So if the chiropractor is telling me my alignment is off from playing sports or driving the forklift or putting the wallet in my back pocket, and that's causing pressure on that nerve, let's fix that. So now the pain is actually going away.
I'm leaning more towards chiropractic. I'm going to get this.
Well, I will say, so the thing is, and PT is a great discipline, right? PT works a lot, so where it's focusing on stretching, strengthening those muscles, those core muscles. If you got a tight piriformis muscle, which can affect the nerve that goes down your leg, relaxing that muscle out so that nerve is not getting pressed. But when we look at chiropractic, it is the alignment of the spine that affects those nerves that control everything. So in an ideal situation, you would have both. You would get adjusted, and you're also going to strengthen that core and everything. So it's rare that you find a chiropractor that tells you not to go to a PT. The opposite way,
so they buddies.
The opposite way,
they are not buddies. They are not buddies.
The opposite way it happens, and I would say, I don't know, man. I talked to a optometrist and an ophthalmologist. I didn't know they had beef, and I was like, y'all have beef? And they were like, yeah, man, we able to do this, and they're only able to do this, and I was like, I had no idea. So I think you have those beefs. Typically, we in my office, I always say, hey, man, go to your PT. Make sure you get that done. What we doing is what we do. What they do is what they do, and ideally, hopefully, you can get both of them done.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So, Dr. Tyler, what can a new patient expect to experience upon their first examination? Are we going to go straight in Popping, cracking.
All I see is the cracking and hear the cracking of the neck.
So tell us about the first patient experience.
So your first microphones?
No, we don't need all that. So your first one though, I love that question. The first one is X-ray exam and consultation with and your exam is not just, hey, raise your hand, sit down. It's not just that, it's actually a functional exam. So like Dr. Cannon was saying, there is normally some type of dysfunction in the spine. When that first visit, what we're trying to do is find out where is that dysfunction and really just trying to show you where that dysfunction lies. So somebody who may say, I have chronic shoulder pain. Well, let's see why, and what we'll uncover is the fact that you've probably been sleeping on your shoulder for a long period of time. You're a side sleeper. You have some collarbone dysfunction, which that can be moved. You have some shoulder dysfunction, but most importantly, you have mid-back dysfunction as well too. But what you come in for, you say, well, Doc, I just got pain down my shoulder blades. But we're going to unpack and uncover all that, getting down to the sign and the source of why. And that's the biggest thing on that first exam is the why. Why are you having this discomfort? We know the symptom, but what is the actual sign in the spine as to what's going on? Mm-hmm. And then we go over it because a lot of people say, well, I'm supposed to get, or they feel almost like they should because the joint chiropractor does this a lot, where you come in and get adjusted on the first day. But what we believe in is let me see your spine first because you may have some type of mass. You may have a old fracture. You may even have something that to where you have so much degeneration to where your spine actually is slipping forward. We call it like a spondylolisthesis. Not trying to get too technical with it, but pretty much there's just so many things that are in the spine. We want to unpack and uncover first just to make sure that you're safe first. And then we'll go into the actual adjustment with your care plan, of course. That's going to be customized based off what we find. We don't believe in one size fits all. We believe in you have your individual body. We need to make sure that you get what you need.
Absolutely.
Great answer.
I think mine's slipping forward a little bit at the bottom. I think it's slipping forward.
Oh, you saw that on your X-ray?
I think because I did have an X-ray. I wasn't taking no for an answer. I think it's slipping forward a little bit.
Who did this X-ray?
My primary.
Devin. Her child.
My primary.
Okay,
I like the chiropractor. Y'all don't know.
Oh my God, the Shady Bunch.
So on an X-ray, there are some things you can see and you can't see. So can y'all see like the nerves, or y'all see what do y'all see, or what informs you from the X-ray?
So what you're seeing on X-ray is going to be osseous structures, bony structures with calcium, right? So you can look at a space between the vertebra, the disc is there, right? Mm-hmm. So if that space is smaller than ideal or smaller than normal, then the disc is starting to degenerate and have some problems. Mm-hmm. You see where the nerve should come out. So you do a couple things. You're going to do a good history. History is so important with the exam. Then you're going to do X-rays and you do some orthopedic and neurological tests. Now, the thing that you would look at, say you're treating the person, they're not getting the results you expect to see, particularly if they're having radiculopathy, nerve pain running down the arm or nerve pain running down the leg. Then we will order MRI. So the MRI is going to actually show you the disc, the soft tissue issues. If that nerve is actually getting aggravated beyond where it's just the vertebra out of proper alignment, you've got a herniated disc that's actually touching on that nerve. Where then you would have to consult and co-treat with we usually refer to neurologists or neurosurgeons. I do orthos, but this is one of my dad things. I remember when I was first in practice, I said, how do you know to send to ortho or neuro with back pain if they're not getting better? Uh-huh. And Dad, he said, listen, he said a neurosurgeon is he's specialized. He said it's like a plastic surgeon. He said, now if you got to get a new hip, new knee, I'm going with ortho. He said if it's spinal, back pain, leg pain, I want to go with the neurosurgeon. He said, because it's a nerve issue. It's not a bone issue. It's a nerve issue. And he said they're just more specific. That don't mean you have orthos that are really good at back surgery when it's needed. But we just work really well with neurosurgeons in our areas. We have neurologists that actually do nerve blocks and send them back to us within 48 hours to get adjusted. And they're Dr. Polk, Morehouse grad. And his thing is, hey, I just did the nerve block. The swelling is now less. Your adjustment is going to be more effective because you're not fighting against all that inflammation in that joint. Yeah. So, and that's really cool where you see that cooperation,
the teamwork
that's there. Yeah.
I love it.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked that question. So I had a little back issue last year. Well, I honestly think it's
It was
probably
a
been
big issue.
It was not a little issue.
It was a big issue.
trying to put in my rear view. But I think it had been going on a while. Long story short, I had a herniated disc, L4, L5, and I could not lift my right foot. And I was getting progressively weaker. Like I fly like once a week for work. I had to use a wheelchair. I came to visit
Child, when she
for
was
one
on
of
that
our
cane,
live
it was just
shows. I was
terrible.
on a cane. And in my mind, I'm just like, oh, it's just gotta heal. It's just gotta heal. But I was supposed to go out of the country. And so I went to my gym and I was like, tell me some exercise so I can get this foot to lift because I'm going to Kenya. And they were like, slow down. You were going to the ortho doc. I had gotten an MRI by that point because I knew something was going wrong. And they got the results back. And it's on my Instagram at Dr. Sylvia if y'all ever want to see it. It was pretty major. I had that surgery within 10 days. And it all just happened so fast. So I really
She didn't
appreciate
get to go to Kenya.
I did not pass go. But I probably would have had permanent damage and would have been on a cane forever if I did get on that plane. So prior to, I did have chiropractic care for years and years and years, but it never graduated to an MRI. So I was so happy to hear y'all say that, you know, if a patient's not getting better, y'all not just going to put them back on the table and keep adjusting, like, because we are trying to get to the root cause. And even as a pharmacist, I didn't know the sequence of events. Like, I'm like, well, he took my x-ray, like what? You know, I've never had to have an MRI, so I don't know to ask for that. So my question is, what recommendations do you have for someone in a similar predicament, which I kind of think you hinted on to already, and could chiropractic care early on have helped my situation? I didn't write that question. We're gonna skip that.
You should have read it before you said
it. So yeah, somebody that is not getting better, you would. I'll let you answer that, but I feel like you kind of already did.
Yeah, you exactly hit it on the nail. So the whole purpose of it as a physician is we want to do what's best for the patient. So if we're not seeing results we want to see, we have to look elsewhere. And that's where, and it comes to also, like I said, you were having a loss of strength. That's like a telltale sign. That's just basic chiropractic school. They're having a loss of strength. We got to look further, right? Mm-hmm. Because that means you could have something that's going to be a permanent damage situation. Like I said, and the fact that you were actually flying like weekly, that actually even exacerbates the disc issue, which I didn't know to that degree until recently. I was at a conference with a chiro and a neurosurgeon, and I didn't realize, like, the neurosurgeon said he does not allow his patients to get on a plane when they're having disc issues. And I'm thinking, is that big a deal? He's like, yes, it flares up the inflammation in the disc.
Wow.
And he can guarantee that they're going to have more problems if they're flying frequently, which I had. In 20 years of practice, I had never heard that. And I was like,
wow.
I have patients
Sylvia.
That's a major key.
I know.
It added to you. And it started with basketball.
She didn't tell y'all that part.
So to answer your question, yeah, definitely when you're not progressing, you got to look at an MRI. That's going to be the next step. Mm-hmm. And then after the MRI,
y'all hear that?
What MRI says is, do you go to, ortho, neuro, whatever the situation is it surgery? Is it not? But you were having weakness. That's a telltale sign. You got to do something.
Yeah, I had no choices. So this is an important show, y'all. As we get older, that back starts flaring up. Now it's Dr. Courtney's turn. I pray that this is minor, but in general,
cancel my scan. Let me go.
In general, you have to. Back pain is not normal. It's not just getting older. That's what I thought. I was like, man, I hit 40 and I'm just breaking down. No, the disc the jelly had come out of the donut, y'all. So make sure that if you're not getting better, you're letting your care team know. That's how my doctor explained it to me. With my
did you see her? Did she not show you the video,
the image? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you could see, like.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it.
No. It was something sticking
I think
out.
after you posted that, Sylvia, so many people were reaching out like, oh,
it was major. Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way. And I did that, honey. That disc was herniated, okay? So I thank God that the sequence of events worked out that way, period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. So, Dr. Tyler, let's bring it back over to you. What other services besides adjustments can be provided by chiropractors? And I think we touched on a little bit, but let's circle back to that. What besides adjustments can we get from chiropractors?
I mean, that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Other things that we can provide though, like for example, your disc issue, right? That you had. One thing that we have in our office is actually a cold laser treatment that we do. And what that does is actually flare down the inflammation that you're having in your body. Also, with a lot of people who have inflammation of their rotator cuffs as well, too, is something else that we see a lot of. So you have a lot of different things that you don't necessarily get a great blood supply from. So in order for us to adjust it, we got to get that inflammation down. So say for example, with your disc, if you would have came and saw me, I know that it's inflamed and it's not an actual disc protrusion or disc herniation. I'm gonna put you on laser. We're gonna get that back to be it flared down. Then we're gonna be able to adjust you to further help you out. Other things as well is about balance training, learning where your body is in space. We're really big on proprioception. As a matter of fact, a lot of injuries happen when you don't know where your body is in space. So the more that you do know where your body is in space, the better we can assist you in the least amount of injuries that you're likely to have as you get older. You see a lot of these people who are like 70, 80 years old but still moving well. They know where their body is in space, and they're
what does
less
that
likely to get
mean?
hurt. So proprioception is pretty much so. Say for example, you to close your eyes right now, like stand up, but be by something that you can catch yourself on. But close your eyes, and your body starts to sway. Once it starts to sway, you're immediately going to start to catch yourself. The more you can catch yourself, and the more you can do that, the least likely you are to injury, and least likely you are to take that joint beyond its limitations. That's where injury happens.
Okay. All right. Sylvia, do you want to piggyback off of that?
I thought she was gonna stand up because she's like did like this.
No. I thought about it, but I did not. No, we had a dark. Our house was built in the 70s. We had a dark door from the back to the front. And one time, somebody in our house hit it, and we didn't go to church that day because their lip was swollen. So that's what made me think of. That's what I thought of when you said. Never mind.
Was it you?
I should have kept that in my head. It was my mom, and then she tried to put lipstick on it, and I was like, "What happened to your lip, Mom?" And she was like, "We ain't going to church." So anyway,
yeah, Ellen. Just to I guess kind of piggyback on that question. I'm a patient of Dr. Tyler, so that's why I asked him to come on the show. And then I never met Dr. Jayson, so I really appreciate him for coming on as well. But just going to Dr. Tyler over the past, I think it's been about a year now, a little bit over a year. And it's just like the little things that you learn. Besides the adjustment, he always harps on me like, you drinking your water. Are you stretching? It's the little things that you can do on a regular basis at home that help even just with the adjustment piece of going to the chiropractor. And it seems like every time I go to visit him or go in for an appointment, he does some new adjustment where I'm like, oh my goodness, like literally as soon as he does it, I'm like he said with the sinus thing, my sinus, everything always clears up as soon as I get an adjustment, like everything pops. Just little things like that. It's just amazing. I just wanted to say that.
You're amazing, Dr. Tyler. You're amazing. Do y'all use that balloon thing in people's noses?
No, I won't do that.
What is that?
Torture.
What is a balloon? Wait, no, what is this balloon thing?
That's new to me. I ain't heard about that one.
I saw it on
What primeval stuff if you had been exposed
to? Dr. Jayson said he saw it on Instagram. So what is this?
People I think it's just opening up the cave of your nostrils and.
It's not necessary.
I think you can do it at home, can't you? Somebody, you can buy like a kit or something. I don't know. We don't do it.
Just have to do with adjustments.
I think I saw a massage.
It was a chiropractor that did it.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm lying.
Oh, see, don't do that.
Don't do that. To further answer your question, though, I just thought about it. Well, something you can get. The Dr. Leah's point is definitely life coaching. Learn those little things. Learn the little things that we a lot of times neglect. Life coaching, but also proper stretching as well too. The older you get, the more you do need to stretch. If you're not stretching, you're not helping hold your adjustment as long too. A lot of people think that they say, "Hey, I come to the chiropractor and I feel like I got to keep going forever and ever." We ask the question every time: did you stretch? 9 times out of 10, probably not. So it is. It's not going to help you out long term. But just little things like that, we can continue to just coach you on.
Yep. I think that's. Let me piggyback on just the because Dr. Leah was like, "Hey, I've been coming like a year," and your first thought may be like, "Man, why you ain't done?" Or how does that work? And where Dr. Ridley's Tyler said was like, "Hey, do you have to come forever?" And no, patients choose to. And what I say about that is, you have an active treatment plan where you come in. A lot of times you're in pain. We get that stabilized, and then we want to maintain. If I go to my trainer at the gym and I get my ideal weight and size, I can't just totally stop. I don't have to go as hard anymore, but I need to at least maintain. Absolutely. And it's one of those things that when you go to your dentist and before you leave, they already got that next 6-month exam for the cleaning. We never think of that as being like crazy. Like, man, I'm eating, even though I'm brushing and flossing, I'm gonna get tartar buildup. But we use our spine daily, looking down on your phone, being a mom, being a dad, and they say, well, man, I need to maintain that for my whole life. We haven't been trained to think that way. And you, even when you think of it in comparison to teeth or dental, you can go get dentures. You got 1-day dentures now. There's nowhere you can say Dr. Sylvia needs a new L45 and she just go in and they give her a new L45.
Right.
That's a disc.
Yeah, she had to get surgery and it really helped. But if it got worse, there's nowhere to get a new back. So we have to look at, from my kids to my grandparents, I want them to maintain the health of their spine and their nervous system.
Right.
I love it. Do y'all adjust babies?
Y'all have inspired me tonight for my own personal journey. I am going to get myself adjusted. What I'm going through is not normal
for children.
We got a question.
Yes, we do adjust babies. I've actually adjusted. I adjusted my baby. She's 2 now, but I adjusted her when she was like 3 weeks old.
Just because, or like constipation is what I see a lot of.
Oh no, just because. Think about the birth trauma, right? Think about when the baby comes. But think about when the baby comes out of that canal. Think about the amount of twisting and tugging we have on them, right? So if you think about all that, and then we wonder why, okay, they're either irritated or they're colically. You've already damaged the nervous system before, and they just 2 minutes old. So to correct them and get that preventative already in there. I can honestly say she has not had a colically night. She does not struggle with constipation. She's a pretty happy baby. And a lot of people are like, well, why is she so happy? And I really attribute it to, one, a good household, but also getting adjusted. Like, her moves always good. She's not fussy at all.
Wow.
So go ahead and just getting your child done early. And we're not whipping their neck. No, we ain't doing none of that.
I'm about to say, you take that little baby
No. It's a very, very soft adjustment. Very soft. And that's another thing too. If a lot of people are wondering, like, hey, I don't want to get a powerful adjustment. I'm a more of a soft person. We have different styles of the adjustment. It's not just a big pop and crack either.
Well, that's all over the internet now, and I don't like it because I feel like most of the adjustments that I got that I felt the most relief from were not those big cracks. And why are you putting a microphone on me, ma'am or sir? Like, I don't like that at all. Tanisha had a question, and then I have one more. On Instagram, they be putting mics on the people so you can hear the cracks. Like, that's all over Instagram now.
Oh, no. Okay. Girl, you just threw me off. Tanisha asked, are there adjustments that would help with tarsal tunnel, or would that fall under another discipline?
You got an informed group.
Yes, great question too. So you look at, we adjust extremities. So carpal tunnel, tarsal tunnel, plantar fasciitis. That's a big one. People stand up and they're like, man, I've tried all these orthotics that cost $1,200, nothing works. So you can adjust every bone in the body pretty much. So in your extremities and your elbows, we have a lot of people that have had carpal tunnel surgery, right? And so they've had surgery on the wrist and they're like, my hand is still hurting. I'm still having numbness and tingling. And the issue was really a C5, C6 issue. So the issue was at the neck. So that neck nerve was getting aggravated and it's showing up in the hand. So we adjust the neck, do some traction, and and it takes care of that. So yeah, tarsal tunnel we work with definitely. And almost anything I hate to say it. It sounds like, no, you can't fix anything.
So
but when it comes to musculoskeletal complaints, and it may not even be, so my shoulder has been killing me. And I've done laser on it. Man, I've been trying to strengthen it, which would be more of the PT. I'm Googling these PT exercises. And one of my newer docs, he's not a new doctor, he's been in practice 30 years. He adjusted right here, right medial, not out in the shoulder. Here, just medial. He said, Doc, this is out of alignment. So when you get ready to raise your shoulder, you're putting undue stress on this joint here. He adjusted that, and instantly I could raise instantly. And I was having problems lifting like a cup. It was just that, and it was instant relief from him adjusting that AC joint.
He saw it was out of alignment.
Yeah, he laid me down. He did some muscle testing. He saw where my muscles were tight and where I was basically. So when the certain muscles are tight, you start to compensate. Right. So your natural mobility and your natural joint is now not moving like it should, and it's starting to shift to another area. So once he released that, instantly I was back. And I mean, I'm like, even though I've been in practice 20 years, sometimes you're still like amazed. I'm like, dude, I have been doing everything for this shoulder. And yeah.
I love what
I've been delivered. I am going to a chiropractor.
And I love what Ms. Nelva said. Our culture truly needs to be educated more about chiropractic, because a lot of people don't understand, the whole science behind it. So.
Well, and that's why we love to do these shows. I'll give you one other fact, because all of y'all are healthcare professionals, and sometimes you're like, well, where's the disconnect? Why is it certain things about chiropractic you've heard and you've been mistrust or whatever? And I would say all of y'all are Xavier ladies, so I know y'all are like brainiacs. Look up the Wilkes, WILKES versus AMA. Dr. Wilkes was a chiropractor. He sued the American Medical Association. Now, can you imagine suing the American Medical Association?
That's huge.
How powerful they are. Sued them in 1976 and won. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, think about that. Like, you got this powerhouse of money and influence, and sued them and actually won antitrust. Basically, what they found in it was the medical association was trying to basically shut down the chiropractic profession. So they used to forbid medical doctors from referring to chiropractors. They couldn't work at a chiropractic school. So you had all this mistrust because they didn't know what we were doing, and they weren't allowed to even refer to us. So looking through the evidence, they actually beat the AMA, and they found out that they were putting out false information, like straight up, these guys are doing this. If you do this, you get hurt, and sending it out to their membership. The settlement, basically what they said is they didn't admit fault, but they said, hey, we did some things that probably went above board. They did have to change their bylaws to allow referrals to chiropractors working at chiropractic schools, and they had to send out a message to all the membership. It finally, the AMA tried to appeal it 3 different times, and the final verdict came down in 1990. This wasn't that long ago. 1990 was the final verdict, and they still won. Dr. Wilkes did. So like when I went to school down in Dallas, Texas, probably 20% of my professors were medical doctors and chiropractic. They had dual degrees, but prior they were forbidden. So you're getting this information, and you got this whole body of a profession saying, hey, don't go there, don't go this, because this is what I've heard from. And y'all know when you went to pharmacy school, your professors were like gods. That first day of school, when they tell you something, so you picture being a medical student and your professor come in and say, hey, don't ever refer to a chiropractor. There's this, that. That's all you know. You have no proof or anything, but you've been told by this guy that you look up to, and it was false. And a lot of people still don't know that. A lot of MDs don't know that because they're like, I never heard that. It
was very true.
It's true.
We have one more question. Can you share more how the service will help with people that stand on concrete or use stairs in their job?
You want that one? You got it. I'll take it.
What's that? What was the question again? I was reading it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Share more services.
Help people who stand on concrete or use the stairs in their job.
And this applies to pharmacists because we're standing behind a counter all day with that forward motion of our neck. Help us out.
Your services help.
I can give you the 2 years in the game answer, then you can get the 20 years in the game answer from Dr.
Okay.
I said, so it's like the thing about gravity. Gravity is always pulling us down. And when you think about just where you're at, you're standing for a prolonged period of time, sometimes going from an hour to 2 hours, right? Think about your disc and think about how much pressure you're putting on it. What a lot of people think about is the disc, but what they don't talk about on the back side of your spine is the actual joints. The joints is what help you move. If those joints are touching more, now you're starting to have a lot of pain. There's a lot of people. Think about before I say this, any of you ladies had kids before?
Yes.
Okay. So think about when you were pregnant, right? Think about how your spine was coming forward due to the extra weight, right? Now think about that. Think about that as you begin to stand, your body's naturally going to compensate because it's trying to get you out of discomfort, but you're still touching, right? So so not just that, but also think about the impact. Now you're on steel or you're on concrete, but also think about what it's going to do to your knees, to your ankles. Pretty much over time, that's just a lot of impact over time. Now take that wear and tear when you get 5-10 years in the game, it adds up. You have nothing to necessarily help you offset it. You're probably not stretching. We're probably not having a good amount of adequate water intake, so you're malnourished, or and just being and you just keep the cycle going on and on. It adds up, and then one day you think, oh man, I'm just getting old, but this has actually been going on for years. Now that's my 2-year answer. Dr. Candy will give you a better one.
No, that was excellent. And I always look at alignment. I always bring it back to alignment. So like Doc asked and everybody said, yeah, I got kids. So I always say most moms have a mama hip. You had a hip that you favored. When you were in line at Kroger's or wherever, you were in line with that baby, you put that baby on one hip, that's your favorite hip. And over time, that same hip is the one that kind of rotates, gets out of proper alignment. So if you have a favorite pair of shoes, you can look down at that shoe and one of them kind of wear a little uneven on that heel. Like, why is shoe wearing uneven?
That is true.
What's up with my walk? That pelvis has gotten out of line from regular things, from having a baby, from sitting a certain way. A lot of times we'll have a TV in the corner of the room, so we're watching TV at an angle all these years. Or you got a favorite chair that is not in great shape anymore, you still sitting in it. So all these things start to aggravate and affect that alignment.
Oh Lord, it's my chair I've been sitting in.
So when you're standing on that concrete or going up a stair and that alignment is off, you have unequal weight distribution and balance into those joints. So you're doing regular stuff and it's starting to wear down that spine. Think of a person, if a person weighs 100 pounds, ideally you should be able to put left foot on the scale, right foot on the scale, and see 50 pounds on each side. But that's not, that alignment is off, you're 70-30. So I always tell people when we think about degeneration, we tend to think it's age. Grandma got a new hip. And my whole thought process was, okay, grandma's hip wore down, and you ask her why. She said, well, I'm just old. Well, wait a minute. This right hip wore down, it's 70. The left hip is not wore down, and it's 70. So it can't be just your age. Yeah. It's that alignment as we go through our daily routine that's causing that wear and tear. And chiropractic, we're really the only people that really look at that alignment and say, how can we fix that? So then you're not having to get the hip replacement in the first place, grandma. We caught that when you were 16 and you came in and we saw that alignment was off and we treated you and kept you going those years. So now when you're 70, you don't have that degeneration in that one hip.
I think that my friends would agree based on my walk in college. Based on my walk in college, that I probably
she had that walk. She had that walk.
I don't know where this. I don't know where this is going. I was like, "What's she finna say?"
Sylvia walks so prissy. It's like she clenches everything for her back and her butt.
She kind of walks.
Everything. It's just
all this. Okay, down here walks. It goes forward. Like
baby, don't nothing move.
Yeah, it's like.
So I probably, if I had tended to that, I was like, oh, that's just my walk. And then people would tell me, we know you're not trying to do it on purpose because I did it all the time. But had I probably got adjusted and learned about body mechanics early on,
Sylvia probably been a little more fluid in her walk.
With my situation, my hips are tight. So when your hips are tight, you're relying on your back muscles more.
That explains a
lot. Yeah, that kind of was the road that I got on. So,
well, I've been sitting in the same chair, nice and comfortable in my home office since the pandemic, and it's nice and comfortable. Maybe it's too soft, and maybe it's too low. But I will say the past couple of years in this chair has probably had some wear and tear on my back as well. I just think my mind has been blown. This was very intentional for tonight. This is a message for me that I cannot wait to go to a chiropractor.
I got one more question. Okay. Not all
question for me.
physicians are good. Not all physicians are bad. Not all chiropractors are good. Not all chiropractors are bad, but there are some bad ones. What are some things that we could look for as a new patient going into a chiropractic office to say maybe they're a little too rough, or maybe they don't have my best interest in mind?
Doc, I love that question because I get that, being in practice 20 years and we have to say, well, I went to this chiropractor and this, or hey, I went to chiropractor and I didn't ever go back. And my first thing is, man, I've been to a dentist that jacked me up, but I didn't never think about not going to the dentist ever again. I was like, I ain't going to that dentist. You know what I'm saying? So that mindset is what we want. So what I look for when I refer people, because people all over the nation like, hey, you need chiropractic. I don't have an office there. Let me find you someone. I look for a good exam, X-ray. You want to see what's going on. You don't know how many abdominal aortic aneurysms we found over the years on X-ray. They come in with back pain. We shoot the X-ray, we see it. I call the PCP. Hey, this is what's going on. We need to get this looked at. And so being able to see what's happening. I would say not adjusting on the first visit, because you want to really study that X-ray and study the history and the exam findings. So if I just do the exam and then 5 minutes I go glance at the X-ray and say, come on, let's lay down and let me adjust you.
Red flag.
Yeah, I want to take that time to really study and see, okay, this is what's going on, and bring you back. And more importantly, even than that, or as important, is explaining to you why I'm doing what I'm doing and what did I find. Because if the patient doesn't understand what chiropractic is about, what we're doing and how we can help and how they can help themselves, the results aren't going to be as good. So we're really big in our office. Dr. Leah can tell you about educating you on why we're doing what we're doing. And us as a people, chiropractic is only getting utilized as a whole about 15-20% of the population, right? So a lot of people don't know what we're doing. We have to make sure we're educating. I like to think of chiropractic as where dentistry was many years back. Our great-grandparents did not go to the dentist every 6 months to get teeth cleaned.
That's why they all had dentures. But
they had dentures
in the 80s.
Yes. If they had a toothache, they would go. But other than that, they were like, no.
Go get my teeth, baby. That's all I knew.
That's traumatic for a child. Yes, one day you see your grandparents without their teeth. It's so traumatic.
It was a way of life. Nobody had no teeth.
Why
or
is she
you
talking
see
like
teeth
that?
on the counter, man, in the granddaddy bathroom on the counter. You like, whoa, what's
Yeah. And don't accidentally throw away the paper towel. They got the teeth in, baby. You is the trouble.
So, do y'all remember being in school and the dentist would come in? They had big fake teeth and a big toothbrush, and it was like a free day, right? We like, man, we don't care what they talking about. We ain't got to do work today. And they would talk to us about how to brush your teeth. And what they ended up doing is educating the moms. Moms run the household. Then moms start saying we have to go to the dentist. And we have to get things done every 6 months. So that's where we are with chiropractic. Only thing we have really going against us is not a knock on pharmacy at all. We love the pharmacies, but Big Pharma runs the world. Every third commercial is a drug commercial. Right. So you got to think about, in that mindset, is like, hey, can I rather give you Dilaudid or Percocet versus you go to see Dr. Cannon? The money is in the Dilaudid and the Percocet. You know,
especially if y'all not gonna adjust me the first time.
Especially if not adjust me first.
I got to wait a little longer for this.
So yeah, you're like, I need something now. So we have to educate you on why. But we do get you in right next day. We ready to rock you the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard not taking.
If you're not getting results, and it does take some time, but if you're not getting results, they're not listening to you. That's a sign.
Okay. That was 3 out. Did y'all catch that? If they're not taking imaging. If they're not educating you, because that's one of the big complaints. They're like, yeah, I have to go forever. They adjust me. I feel good for that day. Then I have to go back next week. But educating you, you can take that information to your PT, to your trainer, and strengthen where you need to strengthen to make those results last longer, stretch, whatever. And then 3, if you're not seeing results. So I think that's great.
And also, and he said if they're trying to do a adjustment on the first day without
4. Boom.
Without viewing the results.
What you got, Dr. Tyler?
That goes back to go ahead.
No, I was just saying 5 is re-exams, because you want to reassess your progress. You want to be able to track and see. To have a re-exam where you actually can see that you're trending well and see that the things that they've been able to give you is actually going in the right direction. Sometimes you need that, because sometimes you're getting adjusted and you're like, well, I mean, I feel better, but am I moving better? You know, you want to be able to actually see that, but then not just have it where it's at, be able to progress to the next step. Just like your trainer. Yeah, I'm losing a little weight, but how do we get you to now the next bit of weight you want to lose too?
Right. And that it goes back what Dr. Jayson and Dr. Tyler were saying when I said I've been going for a year. Don't think that, it's not working, so I got to keep going. Like Dr. Tyler might not see me for a month or two, but then I might get on the road. I might go on a road trip and I feel, okay, I need to go in because I feel a little kink. I feel a little something different. Or I might sleep wrong. It could be anything. It could be as simple as little things like that. And first thing he's going to do, and I love it when they look at your feet and he's like, I could tell like you're off. Like he sees that my feet aren't at level like the same. And I just was amazed. Like you could tell that much just by little things like
they look at your feet first.
I mean, they make sure that
wait a minute, you never been to a chiropractor?
I've never been. So yeah, they make sure that they're like one might be way down here, one might be here. So
it don't be that dramatic. It don't look like it's off.
I don't know. It might be.
They can tell.
Well, I mean, the way I stand, I feel like I stand on the outside of my feet. You can tell the wear and tear on your shoes, but it's usually like I'm not all the way on the ball of my foot.
You have to go for it.
I'm a little bit on the outside.
I'll go with you.
Why is that?
It's wonderful. I promise.
Learn how to walk.
I'm definitely
learn how to walk.
Fix myself.
There was one more question. Do y'all do anything with the abdomen, like an X-ray of the abdomen?
Not abdominal X-ray.
So you have a scope of practice. Each state is different. So with Tennessee in particular, I know when it comes to chiropractic, our scope of practice is related to the spine. So like if it's soft tissue, like, hey, am I looking to see if she has a stomach issues or something? We can shoot the X-ray, but that's not diagnostic for us, right? Okay. So unless it's related to the spine and those ligaments and nerves, then we're not diagnostics to treat that. Now we see different things like the aorta, the aneurysm. We see that's a soft tissue issue, and then we're gonna jump on the phone with the PCP and say, "Hey, this is what we found. Let's follow up with a CT or ultrasound."
Wow. Yep. Okay. Did y'all have any other questions? Because I was gonna go to my last question.
No, I'm going to a chiropractor. Okay. Y'all have any referrals in Atlanta?
You're in Atlanta. Where you at, Dr. Courtney?
Atlanta. Let me know.
All right, I'm gonna find out what area. I got some great chiros in Atlanta.
So I do have a question. So do most insurances cover chiropractic
that's a good
diagnosis and things like that, or are people paying out of pocket?
So yes, Medicare, Blue Cross, Cigna, Aetna, United, we're providers for all those. The VA covers chiropractic now. So
okay. Do you typically need a referral from your primary?
No.
Nope.
All right, send me those referrals that you got. I'm ready.
I think that's one of those PT chiro beefs sometimes. You come direct access.
Because PT, you need a referral from your
sometimes, a lot of times you do.
See, but that's what they had just given me, a referral for PT. Why she didn't say nothing about chiropractor? But don't worry about it.
Remember what I said about the Wilts versus AMA. They're like kind of like.
I get it.
Go straight to PT.
This is why we're doing this, to provide education, that this is another option. And I myself have been educated tonight. So
and let me be clear, there's beef. He kind of explained the AMA, but they work together. He said that before.
It's getting better.
They can help you stretch, so you can do both. So it's not either or.
Yeah.
Dr. Tyler, what was you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's getting better though. My girl's a PTA, so she's in the physical therapy field, and their clinic actually refers patients to us all the time. So
I love that.
It just depends on, like, we're very thorough at Candy Chiropractic. Like, we're make sure we proper the right steps. So you can't deny it. You can't say that we're just popping and praying. You know what we're doing. You see how
popping and praying.
I'm saying we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right workup. So as long as you're doing that, I mean. You just want to make sure everybody on the same page. That's pretty much it.
Right. So my last question is to both of you. As I did talk about when we first opened up, we are very appreciative for Canon Chiropractic being a sponsor for our Memphis podcast event, our live event. So thank you again.
It was lit.
Yes, it was. And Dr. Tyler knows, because I was like, look, you got to come to the show. It's going to be on and pop it. Like, you got to be there. And I know you both have very busy lives. That's what I was saying. So thank you for being on the show tonight. And we know that you do a lot in the Memphis area as far as mentoring and doing things for education in local community. So if you just want to talk about that or elaborate on that, we know that not only did you sponsor Three Friends Talk, but you sponsor a lot of other local charities in the city. So if you want to speak to that for just a minute.
Want me to take that one, Doc?
True, I can take one too. You go first though.
All right. So one of the things we've done since I opened is we have what's called Canon Give Back. So our new patient exam fees, we keep them very nominal. It may be $35, $45, $25 to come in as a new patient. We don't bill insurance. That is cash, and we donate that to a local charity. So it may be the Boys and Girls Club. It may be St. Jude. It may be different ones, right? And we've been doing that since I opened. And last year we gave 12 or 14,000 to the Boys and Girls Club. So we always are giving back in that aspect. And then we love to mentor. I'm on the board of the Boys and Girls Club, so we love to be involved with those groups, but also bringing in young docs, externs from Dr. Tyler started as an extern. And
wow.
Full circle.
He started as an extern, now he's running the clinic. So being able to do that, to give back is one of my passions. I really learned that, to be honest, from my parents. They've always done that. Today's my dad's, he's passed, but today is his birthday. And I shared a picture of him, and I had two different people chime in and said, "Hey man, your dad did this for me." Like one guy was a nurse, and he was like, "Man, your dad took me under his wing when I was doing my clinicals, and a nurse was not supposed to be doing rounds with this medical doctor, but your dad was like, man, you come with me," and he was like, "Man, he changed my life." You know,
wow.
Another guy said, "I didn't realize my dad had bought him and his parents a car. The kid had died, he was on dialysis and didn't have a way to get to dialysis. And he was like, man, your dad actually gave us a car, you know, and it's something he never bragged about or told me about. I was like, I asked my mom, and she's like, yeah, he did that several times. So that's been instilled in us as a culture. That's something I think, I have I'm way off subject. I got a patient that's an AK that she's 100, and we talk about giving back. And she says, Doc, we weren't, as a culture, we weren't taught to give back to charity. She was like, we were taught to give to church. She said, but when it comes to giving to charity and things, she said, we always thought it may be a scam or somebody's doing something with the money we didn't want them to do. She said, so it's something that we have to, as a culture, start instilling and changing that narrative. So that's just something we try to do. And the whole team gets on board. So it's a group effort.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yes, that's awesome. Because of your sponsorship, we were able to give to a local scholarship in Memphis at that live event, and it's something that we try to do every time we have a live event. So thank you.
I love it.
We paid it forward, and that's awesome. Shout out to your dad, and shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I think you guys will like this a lot. Something that's coming up very soon.
Back at the club, y'all.
We're
you lay back to
we're actually
just a little.
My bad. We're actually starting to acquire for our ladies' night. So if you are a business owner that is a lady for our patient, is a patient of ours, what we do is we extend that to you first. Pretty much, we're starting just you being able to advertise your business. So right now, what we're doing is we're just accumulating the list, but definitely reach out because that's coming up soon.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. I like all these initiatives for what's next.
He planning the ladies' night. I can see how that goes together.
Right.
How that works out.
Look, this gonna run into what's next. What's next?
Right. Yeah. Any other?
I think you just told us what's
next. Dr. Jayson, you have any what's next on your list?
No, man, we just keep trying to grow, man. We're looking to open up some more clinics, keep expanding chiropractic, and just be more impactful. We just want to be impactful, right? That's it.
That's right. That's right. Y'all gonna just stay in the Memphis area, Tennessee? We going other states? What we doing?
No, we got plans to expand a little bit. Okay. I really, well, at least to like Nashville. I would love to do something in Dallas, to be honest.
Pull up.
Great.
Pull up.
Well, we're there for whatever we can do to support you guys as well. But, you know, you all are so busy giving back to the community, healing people, adjusting these spines. What are you guys doing for self-care? What do you all do in your downtime? Oh, okay.
A little jizz.
No, man, you know what? I'm all for the self. I'm really mentally. I just stay in a good space. I I really stay in a gratitude headspace. So that helps me because, y'all treating patients, y'all got patients coming in and out, you're seeing all these different situations. When I see the problems that people are having and what they're going through and what they tell us on a daily basis, it just makes me seem like, man, I'm just super blessed and I'm good. I work out and try to eat right, but at the same time, I think more of it is a mental thing. I don't think I'm just killing myself because I see what other people are doing and what they're going through. So it's like me treating some patients in some air conditioning with a great staff and a great environment, man, I'm good.
He said, I had a stomach. I ate up my stomach lining. So this is Lanyap. Everything else is Lanyap. I got my stomach lining. I got this AC. I got these health centers. I done made it. The end.
Thank you for your interpretation, Sylvia.
You're welcome.
Dr. Townsend said we got to make sure we add a mental health referral to the list. So she said that in the chat. So yeah, and we need a mental health referral list.
You see why we like
her? We see what you're doing.
Okay, Dr. Tyler, what self-care look like for you?
I should be more mature like Dr. Ken. I really should, but so I got a whole self-care Saturday routine. So it always start off with prayer though. I make sure I pray. Make sure that I just connect with God first. After that, got to get the haircut, got to get nails, toes did, got to take care of myself.
Got to get petty and manicure.
Get my adjustment. Definitely. My self-care mentally is more like, okay, what I'm eating for the week, because I'm a really big person on like what I'm putting in my temple now. So I'm meal prepping for the week, just knocking out a lot of those things just so that my week can go by. I like to think as little as possible about outside things, so as much that I can get through on Saturday, the better my week is. So that's what it looks like for me.
All right, like a reset. I love it.
Oh yeah.
So how can our listeners, those who are tuning in, anyone who wants more information about chiropractic services or just, information in general, how can they stay connected with both of you?
Office-wise, the easiest thing is the website, canonchiropractic.com, because it has all the locations there and the contact information. And of course, we're all on Instagram and Facebook. I don't know what my Instagram is. Jayson Cannon, though. Jayson. If you Google that, most people spell my name wrong. Jayson Cannon. And everything will pop up.
They should be able to find you on all the social media platforms.
Ma'am. Yes.
Okay, they are not going to be giving medical advice in the DMs. So if you want to have a patient chiropractic physician relationship, go to the website, make an appointment. It's $35, y'all.
Thank you for the disclaimer.
Let me help y'all out.
Right.
Let me help y'all out.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Tyler, how can they keep in touch with you?
Just follow me on Instagram, Dr. Ridley _7. Or follow me on Facebook, Tyler Ridley DC, and I get back to you.
Yay!
Awesome.
Or come see him at the clinic for $35 cash. Okay?
Disclaimers apply.
Please put on payroll.
Same disclaimers apply.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, this has been eye-opening for me. I personally want to thank you guys because I've been struggling with this for the past couple months. I didn't mention it to Sylvia and Leah because I'm very prideful and I'm so active, like nothing is wrong, and I keep dancing and stuff, but my lower back has been killing me. I cannot wait to go and see a chiropractor. So,
okay, pride ended up me in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I learned from your lesson as well. Like, I cannot have the same situation that Sylvia had.
And I'm gonna look at you like this.
I know.
And I'm not gonna send a flower because you had a chance to get it right.
An opportunity.
Dang.
So. That's okay.
So hard.
She's gonna go on this journey with me. It's my turn.
No, but I wish you nothing like what I went through, and I'm glad that you're gonna take care of it. Dr.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, we have had a ball tonight.
A great
time.
We
have learned a lot, and I believe that our friends have learned quite a bit. So we really appreciate both of you taking time to join us this evening, and I will see you soon, Dr. Tyler. Dr. Jayson, thank you again. And ladies, what else do we have to tell our friends before we leave tonight?
Bye, friends.
Don't forget to pick up one of our shirts. The merch is out there.
3ftlinks.com. I got an update with our new merch website. I will put that in the chat.
More to come on our journey abroad, on our mission trips. Yes. I'm taking them abroad, everybody.